Okay, I got a video for you Focus ST3 and ST2 and RS owners with the adaptive headlights that have cornering lamps in them. They use the PS24W halogen fog light bulb, essentially. A lot of you guys have been wanting to put LEDs in there, match the HID look, or get more output when your cornering lights are on. I, for one, have tinted windows, and so the stock cornering lights do absolutely nothing for me. I can't see them. So I really wanted to figure out how to make this work, and I have. So I'm gonna get into it. So this is what the stock one looks like, right? Pretty dim, not super effective. And it doesn't match the HIDs. I just don't like that. It doesn't really do much for me. So now, here's what your LED one will look like. Boom, that's really bright. And you'll see it's actually a usable beam pattern. It's not just light scattered up and down everywhere like other LEDs will get you. It's in line with the factory beam pattern. It's just an extension of the headlight. And it actually looks like HIDs. It looks really nice. It doesn't actually flicker like that in person, that's just a camera. But it looks really sharp. So that's what you want. So if you want to know the secret, you have to understand how these things work. So if you look in the headlight, see the old bulb, that reflector is up there, up in the top corner. So in most halogen headlights that you would put like these LED bulbs in, right? So like you're gonna have your projector kind of in a bowl like that with the bulb sticking out in the middle, and they tell you to put the LEDs facing 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, just like that. So it's like straight up and down like that. That's the way it would be installed in this. If you put it in with the stock bracket in the stock position, you see it's just straight up and down. So that would go into the headlight like that. The problem is it's pointing the light kind of in that corner right there. And so it's just blocking the output, and it's not being output in the correct place to begin with. So this design relies on a 360-degree halogen bulb so that it can get light up into that pocket to then reflect it where it needs to go, right? So all you have to do to get the LED to work is you need to clock the LED about 45 degrees that way. And then on the other side of the car, you've got to clock it that way. And let me show you what I've done on this side. So if you look in here, you'll see I have it clocked 45 degrees. So it points up there. You can see the reflection of it in the reflector because it's being pointed where it needs to go. That's the secret. So looking closely at the bulb here, you see I intentionally bought one that had a screw, a little set screw in there on this bracket so that that can be removed. Some of them have the bracket fused to the bulb. You want to avoid those. So what you're going to want to do is remove that bracket. Now, with the bracket removed, you'll see this specific bulb has set screw threads on either side. And that'll come in handy because inside the headlight it's really tight when you want to install this bulb. So it's easier to have this cord, which by default, like this thing's straight up and down like I was saying, the cord comes out on the bottom part. You'll see on this bracket, so in the light, if you're looking at it from behind, it gets installed like this. See those two tabs on the left and then the one tab on the right? And that set screw hole is right here on the right side. So what I will go ahead and do is drill a set screw hole right in there, and that will allow me to clock the bulb 45 degrees. It doesn't matter which side faces the reflector, so I'm going to actually clock the bulb. Basically it would be the equivalent of turning it upside down and then 45 degrees. You're going to end up with it looking like that from behind instead of like that. Let's get to it. Bam. All right. Now, there we go. All right. I felt the thunk. And there you go. So one thing to note here, I went to install this and I realized this would work on the passenger side of the car, but to get it to work on the driver's side of the car, you got to clock it 45 degrees the other way. So I'm gonna drill that hole here now. Okay, so now I've got it installed as I was describing earlier. So you'll see that erroneous hole that I drilled earlier, and then there's the one I actually used. You see the screw in there? And so now looking at this is how it's gonna be mounted in the headlight, right? So these brackets are straight up and down, but instead of the bulb being straight up and down to match that, like I was showing you earlier, essentially it's been clocked 135 degrees clockwise. So looking at it from the front, that's going to shine the light directly up into that cup area, and then that's going to shoot the light directly sideways to the side of the car, instead of it shooting into that nook and then being blocked as it tries to come out, and it's just going to scatter the light everywhere. What I've seen on the forums is that when people try to install this either in its default configuration, or they get those fat LED bulbs that are like totally not designed with any sort of optics in mind, it just scatters light everywhere. You'll get more light output because there's more light to begin with, but it's not going to be where you want it. I'm going to go ahead and install the bulb now. I don't know if you can hear me over the engine, but you know, there's a video online describing how to install this bulb. I don't have time right now to explain it again, so instead I'll just link that video in the description of this video, so you can check that out if you want any help. So here's a little comparison of light output. I don't unfortunately have any footage of the stock ones, but they were pretty much unusable, like you could not see it. You'll notice I have very tinted windows, so that's just how the car came. I would have done them a little lighter, but here we are. So I'm gonna look through the windshield first. So here's what it looks like. Look how much visibility there is now. A usable beam pattern. Well, here's to the right. Bam! You can see so much more, and it perfectly matches the low beams almost. And I can actually see through my window. The camera doesn't really do it much justice, but I mean, that's how visible it is without the light, and boom, now you can see. Anyway, those are the LEDs in the Focus ST2, ST3, and RS cornering lights. Hope this video was helpful for you, and leave a comment and like and subscribe, I guess. Guess I'm a YouTuber now. If you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching.